This episode is all about my Spring into Abundance day retreat here in Los Angeles on March 22nd. Listen to hear more about why I decided to create this, who it's for, and what we're going to do. My name is Laurie, and I host nervous system retreats for people who are burnt out and exhausted from work and life and are just wanting a different lifestyle. In this very special episode, I am going to talk about my amazing Spring into Abundance day retreat that I'm hosting here in Los Angeles. I'm going to tell you why I decided to create this, who it's for, and why it's so important that you do this. I decided to create this retreat because I want to host lots of different retreats after this, and this is just a starting point. Actually, hike to yoga was a starting point that if you've been to hike to yoga and you've wanted something more, this is it. If you've never been to hike to yoga, you want to try it. Our next hike to yoga is actually this Saturday, March 7th. For those of you that have been to hike to yoga and you're just like, yes, like the hiking, the yoga, the nature, the meditation with the hummingbirds, if all of this is totally your cup of tea, then this day retreat is for you. So let's back up and talk about why spring, right? So March, I forget the date, sorry, is the spring equinox. And although that marks the actual start of spring, I want to say you can already feel it and see it already. The flowers are blooming. It's getting a little bit warmer, maybe a lot warmer here in Los Angeles. And everything is just starting to kind of wake up from the winter. If you've listened or watched my winter rituals episode, I talk about how in the winter we are hibernating and we are at rest. We're kind of at rest from the year prior. So after winter and this restful period, we should have an idea of what we'd like to create next, right? Now, this is the next cycle after the last year. And as you know, we just had a new lunar year start. It is the year of the fire horse. How can we best harness this energy? So as somebody who has been studying and living, practicing Ayurveda, which is the umbrella parent of yoga, the question is, what came about in the restful period of winter? For me, I realized that I am under-monetizing my gifts. I deserve to live well. And for all this to happen, I have to ask for an exchange for my gifts. So this is primarily made for women, sensitive leaders who are feeling like they're in the same boat, right? Like, so spring into abundance is about not just, okay, I'm going to pray to have money fall in my lap, but how am I going to use this spring equinox energy, the start of the lunar new year, to launch into the abundance that I know is just waiting for me? I also created this because I know we're all out there, especially women, right? We just tend to not ask for what we deserve. We shrink to make ourselves smaller so that we don't call attention to ourselves. Maybe we even are so deep in the work and doing it that we don't realize that, hey, like I can actually do this in a different way and actually be well paid for it. This can be the catalyst for you to not just do the thing, but to be like, what are the things I need to do? And that's why it takes a whole day, right? Like if you know how good you feel after a nice, beautiful hike to yoga morning, think about being able to continue to go deeper into who you are and what you want. And in that intimate group, since we are limited at 16 women, you are going to get the support and the witness, not witness, but the witness, like we are together in this, because I believe that when we are surrounded by other people who are wanting the same thing, then we can actually see ourselves reflected in each other, and that becomes the game changer. I mean, really ponder that for a moment, because who this is for is really like, if you feel like you've been doing this manifestations, affirmations, if you've been going down the AI route of prompting everything and you're not getting anything done, if you're just like have all these big dreams and you're just, but I can't even do the first step, I'm just in analysis paralysis. It's like, you need to take a day off. You're probably spending your days just dreaming of things and wanting them. And now it's time to just let it come. Because abundance is not a thing you do, it is a mindset. It is actually knowing that whatever you are wanting is actually trying to make its way to you. But if you're unable to see the opportunities to follow up with the people who would make the difference, or to cut things out that are actually taking up space and energy from your life, this is for you. Because when we become aware of what is blocking us from what we are doing repetitively, but it's not bringing in the things that you want, then it deserves to be looked at. So that's what we're doing in this day retreat. So the next part that I said I was going to talk about is why. Why the Spring into Abundance retreat? The most important thing I can tell you is that this is the first one I'm ever doing. For the last 6 years, since I started Hatha Yoga in 2019, that this was going to be the start of something. And when we peaked in 2021, I wasn't ready. I mean, I was in a totally different point of my life, even psychologically, from the pandemic. I was not ready to see the opportunities and call in the people. I wasn't ready to hold the abundance that I was calling in. And it sounds crazy to say it now, but think about it. Who were you, like even pre-pandemic? Let's ponder that. Maybe we'll even talk about it during our day retreat. But I think it begs the question of like, if not now, then when? And the question could be like maybe you're not sure if you have the finances right now, which is completely valid. You could go on the next one. Like, I'm not sure when I'm going to have another one, maybe next month, maybe in 6 months. But really, tell me, let me know. I think, if anything, like knowing what people need will help me create more. So if that's you, let me know. But I feel like why now is such an interesting question, because even ChatGPT will tell me, like, you have to be urgent. You have to tell people, like, there's only 3 spots left. And I'm not really into that kind of marketing. Like, I'm going to be completely honest with you, as I'm laying in my hammock, listening to the fountain. That's just not my style. So why now? If your gut is saying yes, if your body and your mind and maybe even your bank account is just like, I want to do something different, but I don't know what. There are no guarantees in life. I'm not going to promise you that, oh yes, when you come to my retreat, you're going to like 10 extra money next month, because I really think it's what you apply. It's what you decide to do following it. But what I do promise you is that we're going to have an amazing tea ceremony. Okay, now I'm getting into like what we're going to do. So when we start, we're actually going to have a tea ceremony. So if you've ever been to Hatha Yoga and you're arriving late and you're huffing and puffing and you're just worried, like, that is not how we arrive. So we're going to actually park outside of my residence, and we're going to have a really nice tea ceremony to welcome in the experience. So I'm also choosing outside my home residence because there is plenty of street parking. Like, yes, there will be 16 of us. There is ample street parking in my residence area, and you will be set. What's really amazing also is that as you get to settle in with some tea, and we're going to start in a very relaxed manner, it's going to allow you to actually set the best intention for your day. We're going to breathe and hold the tea with both our hands. And slow mornings are a thing for me. So after the tea, we are going to take about a 10-minute walk towards the park. We're going to go on a really nice walk. And in that time, I'll be explaining native plants, talking about the environment that we live in. We're going to get to connect with the earth. And what better time to enjoy than in the spring? Like, the sunflower bushes are blooming. You're going to see and smell so many amazing things that you'll find along the way. And after that, we are going to do some nervous system informed yoga at one of the locations that we pick. So as always, when I take my groups outside, I really listen to the weather. So if it's slightly cooler, we might do the moderate hike to warm up, and then we'll go into the sunny location for yoga. But if it's really warm that day, kind of like today, like you can see the sun on my face and people are looking a little like, oh my God, like I don't think I can have any more sun. There's a shaded location where we'll have beautiful views. Actually, all the views are beautiful from this park, but I know the spots. So we're going to have a really nice time just practicing awareness and breath, acknowledging the earth and being one with our bodies and nature at the same time. And of course, got to bring in the yoga wave because it's fun. And because we'll be such an intimate group, I believe it's going to be like the peak of the bonding experience. And I really think that that's why the Hike to Yoga program works. Because even in normal yoga classes, we don't do yoga together. Like, we are just practicing individually on the mat. And I always use yoga as like a metaphor for life, like how you are on the mat is like how you are in real life. So I think it's really interesting how in regular yoga classes at a studio, you're not really guided to be with other people, and it kind of reinforces what we do in real life. So that's why we do the yoga wave. And then after that, we're going to have a nice half hour in the hummingbird garden where we're going to start to think about some prompts. As you sit there, they're going to come up. It could be a good thing to like bring a journal and write some things down. I always think it's a great way to let your thoughts just spill on the page and not hold them back. And then after that, we're going to come back. And we're going to have a beautiful catered lunch. So far, I'm thinking getting catering from Sweet Green. But yeah, when you sign up, you're going to get the chance to write in your dietary restrictions, and we'll take care of all of the things. And that's when we get into the abundance workshop and breakout circles, and of course, our sister circle ceremony to close. And when we are doing these activities that bond us together, and then we decide to go deeper, we actually go deeper than if we had just like met up for the afternoon. And also, because we're going to be in the Hilltop Sanctuary, which is my residence, this is actually going to be one of the breakout spots. You could be right here thinking about how you're springing into abundance. This is a way to get out of your mind, right? To get out of your everyday routines and life and give you a space where you can dream. So I'm really excited because we've lived here for 10 years, and I think we started renting out the house maybe like 4 years ago. And we get rentals, and sometimes I've even hosted nonprofit groups here. But this is the first time I'm ever really doing something as part of Hike to Yoga and my personal brand. And I'm also hosting with a college friend of mine. So it feels like all my worlds colliding in the best way possible. So I'm really excited about this. And it's really like If not now, then when? It's like growth for me too, because I feel like when we talk about springing into abundance, it's like to have things that you've never had, you're going to have to do things you've never done. And sometimes I think we get caught up in that, like, well, but doesn't that mean that like something needs to go? Like, yes. I think that is like the under talked about thing that, yes, if you're trying to become something else, like there are parts of you that have to die. And that is going to be a whole subject in itself. But if you're ready to call in this abundance, if you're ready to be with women who are on the same page as you and want the same thing, this is it right now. If you have been wanting something different, you just have to take the leap. It's funny because what comes to mind is that whatever worth doing is going to take a lot out of you, right? I think when we are really real about what it takes to accomplish something, like if I had started Hike Yoga now, I would have been like, no, because you don't know. You don't know what it takes. And sometimes you just have to start. And I'm so glad I did because I'm in such a great place now, and even getting married almost 10 years ago and creating a home with my husband. And he just built this amazing fountain, like literally last month. What I'm trying to say here is like things take time. So even if you come and you don't apply anything, I hope you don't feel bad about yourself because you don't know how many books I've read, how many podcasts I've listened to, how many posts I've saved, how many vision boards I've made, but you know what? Every one of them was a step to this. Like we look at other people's like highlight reel and we're like, how come I'm not there? Well, listen, you are not seeing all of the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to get there. And honestly, it's funny because earlier I did shed some tears and I'm like, people don't see these things, right? Like people don't know how like almost every week I'm like, I just feel like giving up. Like that's how real it is. It's like there's nothing that's perfect, but just start now. That's the best thing I can tell you. You don't want time to dictate what you can actually do. You don't want to be like, oh, I guess it's too late now, or the I'm old now. Like, no, the time is now. Take action because you don't want to regret it later. And I'm saying that because this is it. This is me taking action. So I invite you, like, do it now. Just sign up. I have one sign up so far. I am sure that 15 more will come through before the 22nd. We are 21 days out. That is 3 weeks. Early bird ends on, I think, this upcoming Friday. So you have 5 days to get the early bird price, which is $175. And after that, it will be $225, but it will be so worth it. It will be amazing. And I can't wait to see you. Bye.